Tink. Adam, welcome back. Welcome back to Right Now.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
Yeah, it's really good to have you here. You have some little toys for us here today.
Yes.
You actually thought of a theme for today, unlike me usually, which is on my way driving into work, I'm like, what the heck am I going to talk about today? But you prepared, so
yeah.
I'm going to let you kind of run it today.
Okay, well, so I did kind of prepare this because our fulfillment team puts a lot of time and effort and thought into the way that we do things to serve our customers, and I really wanted to highlight that.
Yeah.
And also just talk about some of our packing practices and standards.
Yeah.
To hopefully empower our customers to know just kind of what to expect. And just kind of lift the veil behind hey, here's the thought process behind why this is actually important.
For sure, because we are very intentional about the way we pack, and so we have somewhat of an unboxing video for you all today.
Yeah, a little bit. So I'll start with kind of some of the things that you find in your package. Our first thing I wanted to show was the packing card. Oh, my coffee. It's all right. I've already had it.
Face melts away.
No. I've been up since 4 a.m. because my kid is just not sleeping.
Oh man, that's
and so I've already had 3 cups anyway.
Awesome.
Along with the Dr. Pepper.
Packing card.
So the packing card. So this is something. Oh my gosh, I don't even know how long ago we started doing this.
Oh, this was very early on.
Yeah, 4 years ago.
Oh no, it was longer than that. Maybe 5 or 6. Yeah. It was a while ago.
So. I'll go ahead and just read this, even though you just had it up on your screen. But so I packed your order with a slightly ridiculous amount of care to make sure that the writing products you love would arrive safely today. I'd love to hear what you think about how I've done it. And I'm not going to read the web address. www. And yes, there's a signature on there. Spoiler: it isn't signed every single time.
No. The original, it's a digitized printed version.
It is.
But it was their actual signature.
It is our actual signature, and it is. It was done in Liberty's Elysium.
Yes,
if
indeed.
you ever wondered about that.
With an Edison Nouveau pen. I
yes. So we put this in there so that we can get feedback from everybody just about how they feel about how we're doing. Because the best way to learn and the best way to serve people correctly is just to hear the feedback.
And we get a lot of feedback.
We get I don't even...
Surprising amount of feedback, given that you have to actually go and manually type in this address.
One thing I didn't do, but I thought of for this was sometimes we will get a page long dissertation.
Nice.
People will just write the most fun stories.
Yeah.
This guy wrote this Nordic style adventure of how he got his fountain pen stuff from us, and it was highly entertaining. We had it posted up in the fulfillment area. This, we really believe these things. We do go for a slightly ridiculous amount of care, and we get to share the packing feedback with our our team members back there, and that's a good thing to see.
Highly motivational.
Very motivational. Express gratitude.
Yep.
Kind of living out in the business. So I wanted to showcase that, and also just kind of right there on the bottom of your card, that's the place that you want to go if you really feel like something that you saw was really great, or if you conversely, if you feel like something could just use a little improvement, we want to hear that too. So that's the place to go to kind of give that information. Now, if you are looking for here's how I contact customer care, or here's what I do if I need something for a return, this is where you're going to find that information on our values card. So every single package has that. And I definitely want to just emphasize this is the right place to go, because sometimes it happens a lot less now, but we'll sometimes get feedback in the packing feedback.
Yeah.
And we don't read that as frequently, so just want to say, hey, we want to do our best to serve you, so this is the place that you want to go if you have something that you need to get fixed. Now, I also wanted to showcase these because part of our packing process, which we haven't really it's not printed anywhere. I don't think it's anywhere on the website, but it's something that we started doing.
Kind of an unspoken rule.
Yeah. It's definitely well, now it's standardized back here, but I wanted to let everybody know about it because the thing that we used to we've got an incredible accuracy as far as shipping.
Sure.
But one of the things that we had just historically the most problem with is just these tiny little accessories.
Yes.
Nibs, converters. It's a real
O-rings,
challenge.
O-rings.
Yeah. It's a real challenge just as far as the fulfillment process, because it can get you're excited, you're just tearing stuff open, it pops out, and it gets lost in your couch or on your coffee table,
or it gets wrapped up in the bubble wrap or something. You miss it.
And you just miss it. So one thing that you can expect and just look for is anytime we have any kind of accessory that we package. That's going to be attached to one of these values cards, just so it's it's safe, it's very visible, and you can always expect it to be there. So whatever shape or form, like I got one right here, and if you've got a bunch of them, we're going to put those in a bag, and we're also going to attach that to your values card.
I mean, that's pretty hard to miss.
Pretty hard to miss.
Yeah.
So just wanted to kind of show that off. That's something that we're kind of standardizing on now, and we've been doing it for a while, but really wanted to just communicate it to customers very plainly, like this is what you can expect to see, and this is something that we've intentionally done so that we can serve everyone. Because this it happens quite frequently.
A lot of little converters, little bits and pieces that get in the packages there.
Yeah, absolutely. Also just wanted to showcase these. You're going to find this in your box too. Our many different kind of just like signed note cards with many different designs that are actually created by the people who work here.
Yep.
So I brought a few to kind of show off. I'll try to embarrass you a little bit, Andy.
Yeah.
There's yours right there. So everybody in the building does this to some extent because we believe that it is a way to kind of live out our value of express gratitude.
And this has been an evolution. Originally, I started signing them all. I mean, we've done this literally from the first package we ever sent out. I signed them, and then that got to be too much, so we had basically customer service people signing them, and it was a customer care team up until about a year ago that was more or less exclusively signing these. Then fulfillment started helping out, and then we thought, why doesn't the whole company do it? And that was, maybe 8 months ago or so. It was a relatively recent thing.
Yeah.
That we said everybody. Now fulfillment, y'all are doing the heavy lifting, and you're writing a lot of these.
Yeah. Which is, honestly, it's a lot of fun. It's a great way to experience the fountain pens, which I know is why historically it kind of started off in customer care.
Absolutely.
But I've written with things that I even though I've been here for like 5 years, I did a Monday matchup, and I'd never written with an Edison pen, and I don't like fines generally, but I wrote with this Edison fine. I was like, man, I see what this is all about.
You get it, yeah.
I really get it, and it's also just it's a fun way to kind of showcase inks. I know we get a lot of positive feedback about that.
Yeah.
And whenever a new line comes out, we're specifically trying to all right, let's get some of these new inks in our pens. So we can put these on the
more so just because we're excited about it.
Colorverse
absolutely. Or something like that comes in, we're like,
we did Colorverse when the Diatramenous copper shimmers came in. We put those in there.
Nice.
In a preppy iDriver conversion, just go for it.
Oh yeah,
just put it out there.
There you go.
So this I think is just this is a fantastic way for us to just kind of say thank you. And as I'm writing and I'm thinking about what's really the right thing to put on here to truly express my thanks for the fact that someone is making a purchase with us, because they could go anywhere.
Yeah.
They've chosen us.
Yes,
which
indeed.
we're very, very grateful for.
Heck yeah, we are.
Okay, so I talked to you about all the different stuff you're going to find in your box, the packing card, the values card, where you're going to find your accessories, expression of gratitude through our note cards. So I also wanted to kind of just talk about some of our packing standards. So this is, so I started in fulfillment, and now I'm one of the fulfillment supervisors. So the packing practices here have definitely gone through an evolution since the time that I've been here.
Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier. Just when I started off, it was real, just tape everywhere. Watching an unboxing video, when I first started, it would take a little while to get in there.
It was 15 minutes of unboxing.
Yeah, it was. We were
maybe we're using too much tape.
So our overarching goal is that when your products are in transit, they're not going to shift, they're not going to move. We've got a lot of stuff that is just can be damaged easily. Glass bottles, paper is one of those things that if you don't package it right, there's on top of just the small accessories, just the nature of the products that we have creates this very unique challenge as a fulfillment team.
There's pretty much nothing that isn't fragile that we ship, really.
Yeah. So I'll go ahead and just take some of this stuff out if you want to just kind of zoom in here.
Yeah.
So. So you'll see it's chock full of this material so that the products can't move around. So this is kind of I just put some stuff in here, but I figured this would be kind of indicative of representation of a normal order. So I've got that sealed up here. And
now, one thing I noticed, Adam, is I can't pop these bubbles.
Yeah, that's
what's
true.
Up with that, man?
So what's up with that? So. So the bubbles that we make these in-house. It's one of the ways, as we've just looked at how can we be a bit more, more mindful of sustainability.
trying to be entertaining for you.
Yeah.
This right here, this bubble wrap comes in just like large.
It's like a sheet, like a
it's
roll
like
of film.
Yeah, like a roll of film. So we blow this up. So yeah, you can't pop it. So it loses.
Well, it's made of partially recycled materials. It's
Yes.
recyclable.
Yes, it is.
And we don't have to pay trucks to deliver bags of air.
Yeah,
so
basically.
we can inflate it ourselves. That's awesome.
So
what do we got going on here?
So we just got a notebook, pen, ink, pretty standard of what we send out. So right here, this has been kind of like consistent from day one. This blue wrap, which is also kind of like a branding kind of thing. Like people see that.
Yeah, it
like, hey, this is from Goulet. So
are we known for blue? Is that our thing?
No.
Yeah.
What?
Not really.
I don't know. We're trying to make that a thing. So any kind of liquid that we send to you that is going to be blue wrapped to separate it from other products. So just in case something were to happen, everything else should be protected. Now that includes pen flush.
Oh my god.
Samples.
I did that before. Were you? I don't know if you were there for that. So
I wasn't. I heard of this.
Okay, so we were testing out some alternatives. This is before we got the better bubble wrap. We tried out some like green bubble wrap that was like this recycled stuff, but it was like half inflated. It was terrible. And then we tried this other stuff that was like this crinkly paper kind of stuff, like you have at Crate and Barrel. Giammi, but they changed their name to something. I don't remember what it is now. But I wanted to test it out, so we had a bottle of Noodler's ink in like a box that was a little bit smaller than this, the 8x4x4. And I was like, let's test this thing out. And I just spiked it like a football right on the concrete, and it broke the bottle.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that was probably a little too aggressive of a test. And I didn't even like take it offline or anything. I just grabbed the bottle off the shelf and spiked it. And I was so confident that it was going to be fine, and then it broke. And thankfully, no one had bought it yet. So
okay.
But anyway.
Well, no. Hey, like I've been
That's my style.
I've been to some sorting facilities just as part of like empowering your education, like learning about the business. Like I've been to the Sandston facility around here for USPS. We've toured FedEx. So yeah, I think we pack very reasonably.
It's not completely outside the realm of possibility.
No, it's not. It is
the package
not.
might get spiked.
Yes, absolutely.
And we've tried to prepare for that.
Yeah. So just to say, like, hey, I don't know what everybody else is doing, but we are going to make sure that if you've ordered a bottle of ink, it's going to be separated from your other products. So if anything were to happen to it, it'll
be more or less contained.
It'll be contained, and
you might have to replace the bottle, but it wouldn't ruin your pen.
Yeah, it wouldn't ruin your pen, wouldn't ruin your box if you really care about that. If you're like, if you're into having that, having those around.
That's right.
So that's something that's really important for us. Shipping. I talked about shipping notebooks. That can be difficult. So we do kind of go above and beyond to make sure that paper products arrive safely. This is Leuchtturm, like nothing's going to happen to that. But the Tomoe River paper, which man, I love.
Oh yeah.
Love that stuff. Writing, especially with like a shimmer ink.
But it's flimsy.
It is flimsy. So we'll sometimes package that separately. We'll put it in like an envelope just to make sure it doesn't bend or get creased or get dinged, just so nothing's going to happen to your paper on the way to you. Because I know, like with other services.
Yes, because that would be terrible.
Haha. Knee slapper.
Yeah, that was
I got you.
That was good, right?
No,
We're ready for that.
We're not going to just throw it in your box that's like 10 times bigger than it really should be. And
No.
so
that's not what we're all about. And it's always a delicate dance too, because we charge for shipping up front, and then we have to pay whatever we have to pay based on how we box it. So really, the packers are like artists. And you have to be like, it's like this Tetris kind of thing, and you have to figure out like, how do I pack this safely as well as economically?
Yes.
Because if we are haphazard with our packing, it can make a huge difference in our cost.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's always that delicate balance, and I think our team walks that line really, really well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll at the very end, I'll talk about just like how accurate we are. One last thing to kind of just highlight, or maybe two last things to highlight for just our practices. So special requests, like sometimes if someone wants a particular color notebook, whatnot, like hey, like ask us for that.
Good point.
We'll do that for you when we can. We'll often get people asking for specific like delivery instructions.
Yes.
So hey, could you put this underneath the chrysanthemum by the blue door at 5 p.m. I don't know.
Right.
Like it can get pretty specific. So we can put
that was oddly specific. Has that happened before?
No, not that particular thing.
Okay.
So if you have special delivery instructions, we can put that on the actual shipping label. We can do that for domestic or international. I will say if international, just because of the nature of how much stuff is on the label,
the print gets really
it's
tiny,
really
right?
really tiny.
The odds of someone reading that diminish. The more
certainly.
words that are on the label.
So we're going to do that for you, but I would say if you've got something that's very specific and you have a need, hey, it has to be here at this time, I would say reaching out to your local provider, or especially if you've ordered through FedEx, using FedEx Ship Manager, you can have it held at a FedEx location, or I think now places like I want to say Walmart or certain certain stores, you can actually have them take your package to a store location that's near you, and you can have it held there. So if you're going to do your shopping or pick up a prescription somewhere, you can have your FedEx package sent to that store location and just make it a part of your normal routine.
How about that?
So yeah, if you're maybe in a neighborhood where you're I don't want to leave this on my doorstep.
Or it's a particularly expensive pen in that order, you want to do it as a special case or something like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
So
cool.
I would say look that up, because I think that's a really nice just feature that FedEx shipping has, and also just pointing out hey, we'll do that for you when we're able.
Heck yeah.
But I would reach out to your local provider if you have something that's terribly specific.
Yes.
And the last thing I wanted to highlight was just kind of our effort to reduce waste.
Yes.
So when I started, our rule was 2 or more items, no matter what, those get blue wrapped together to keep them from shifting in transit.
Right.
And over time, we've just kind of realized, all right, that may not be necessary.
May not be overkill. Yeah.
Our ultimate goal is that your products cannot shift during transit, so they'll reach you in the same position that they are on our warehouse shelves.
Because that's part of how they get kind of that shelf-worn look is there's loose stuff and it's kind of rattling around in the package, banging into each other. And that's when you get dings in notebooks and bottles of ink can get broken. And stuff.
So you see here, I didn't do that. So I was confident from my experience that this right here is going to take care of it.
In the old days, what we would have done is wrap this in blue wrap, the whole thing, and then bubble wrapped it, and then taped over the whole thing, so it was basically you could submerge it in water.
Yeah.
And it'd be fine, which was very secure.
Certainly very secure.
But may have been overkill.
May have been a little unnecessary.
May have gone beyond slightly ridiculous into
actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
So this that's just something especially if you're a long-time customer, you'll notice that we're not doing that all the time. So just to say there, hey, this glass, if you've got glass in your package, hey, open it up, kind of carefully take that out there. We're no longer sealing this entire thing with tape.
Yes.
So that it's going to come out in this kind of pre-sealed bundle.
Now, if someone requested in their order comments for it to be packed with a truly ridiculous amount of care, would we accommodate?
Yeah, certainly.
So they could get entirely taped
They
up.
They could. We actually, we I don't know why we called that the mermaid purse technique.
The mermaid purse.
No, that's what I called it.
Nice.
You know what a mermaid purse is, right on the beach? I don't know. I don't even know what they actually are. No. There's little they're black, and you can just find them on the ocean.
Yeah.
There's a little. Man, I don't even know how to describe it.
Yeah, they wash up on the beach.
They wash up on the beach, and I think there's little eggs in them.
Okay.
I don't know what creature it is. Someone's got
mermaids.
Please leave in the
obviously.
comments below what that is.
What is a mermaid purse? Yeah.
That's what I was told it was when I was a kid.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't do that anymore. But your package is going to arrive safely. So I did want to just share, hey, we do track certain things just to see how well we're doing, and as far as our, on a company level, how fulfillment really affects things. So our shipping accuracy, perfect order rate, is 99.8%. So that includes.
Which is awesome.
That is awesome.
We don't use a barcoding system. Nope. This is all manual.
Yep.
So this is all the team.
Yeah, this all comes down to product knowledge, care for our customers, and and also that includes hey, if there was just any kind of manufacturer's problem, hey, that includes that.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty awesome.
If you shop with us, you can trust that your stuff's going to get there and it's going to get there safely.
Heck yeah. So thank you, Adam, for being on. This is awesome. Sharing a little bit more about the slightly ridiculous amount of care that we put into the way that we ship things here.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great Monday, and right on.
Right on.